Ray Cuddy masterminded a high-profile crime against one of the most famous families in Las Vegas, and now, 20 years later, he's out of prison.
So why is the man behind the kidnapping of Steve Wynn's daughter living here in the city where the truly shocking crime went down?
Well, the I-Team's Glenn Meek located Ray Cuddy, looking for answers about what he's doing today and what happened all those years ago.
This is how Ray Marion Cuddy appears today. These images obtained by 8 News Now are probably the first new ones of Cuddy, broadcast in more than 2 decades. But for a time in 1994, Ray Cuddy's picture was plastered on Las Vegas TV screens almost nightly.
Mr. Cuddy, think you got a fair trial?
Cuddy was convicted in connection with the kidnapping of Kevin Wynn, daughter of gaming mogul Steve Wynn. Though one of Cuddy's co-defendants copped a plea deal, Cuddy and an accomplice did not. And that forced a public trial that put Steve and Kevin Wynn on the witness stand.
A man's voice came on the phone.
What did he say?
He said, "Listen carefully. We've got your daughter."
My father said to me, "Kevin, don't worry, I'll handle this. Don't worry, honey." And I just said, "I love you, Dad." He said, "I love you too."
The case never should have gone to trial.
Tom O'Connell was one of 2 government lawyers who prosecuted Cuddy.
We specifically tried to plead the case so that the victims, both Kevin and her father, wouldn't have to relive this horrendous experience.
O'Connell finds Cuddy's return to the city where he committed his crime curious.
I think it's unfair to the victims. Again, first the crime, then the insistence on a trial, and now he elects to live in Las Vegas.
These days, Cuddy rides a Harley and has been seen riding down the Strip, which took him past Wynn's resorts.
Mr. Cuddy!
I found Ray Cuddy in a public place and flagged him down, seeking an interview.
I'm Glenn Meek with 8 News Now. Can we chat with you?
What? My name is Glenn Meek. I'm with 8 News Now. I covered your trial many years ago. Can we talk to you?
Federal inmates are commonly discharged in the jurisdiction where they were convicted, unless they make arrangements with probation officials to have their supervised release transferred elsewhere. But Cuddy's trial lawyer told me in February he didn't think Cuddy had another place to go.
It's been a lot of years, and I don't remember all of his family connections. But I remember he was pretty much on his own back then, so I suspect it's even more so now.
And so, Ray Cuddy, now 69 years old, remains in Las Vegas. Whether his supervised release will ever be transferred to another jurisdiction is unclear. He's scheduled to be on supervision for 36 months. Glenn Meek, 8 News Now.
At the time Cuddy was sent to prison, authorities were unable to account for roughly $500,000 in ransom money. But Cuddy and his cohorts spent lavishly before their capture. And court records suggest Cuddy today has very little financial means. The Wynn family declined comment about Cuddy's release to Las Vegas. The I-Team had some help acquiring some of the video you saw of Mr. Cuddy, and we'd like to thank DeBecker Investigations of Las Vegas for their assistance.